other camp. Well, I think it is a good one if they can just close ranks. Rather, it will be a good one for the People's Democratic Party, so that there will be a formidable, team, formidable opposition against the incumbent. And here, the minister is saying he has dismissed claims of deep-seated factionalism within the PDP, asserting that the party remains a single entity despite the grievances of certain individuals. And he was speaking after an extensive inspection of ongoing projects across the territory yesterday. Wike downplayed the notion of camps within the party ahead of its upcoming convention, that is his faction's upcoming convention.
Well, let's hope, let's hold Wike by his words, because it's easier said than done.
Yes.
Let's hold him by his words, but definitely they will all have to come to the reconciliation table at the end of the day. And it is good they are coming much earlier, because time is going, and there are people, contestants, those that want to contest under the banner of PDP.
Yes.
And they are still waiting with great expectation.
Yes.
I think there seems to be a light in the tunnel right now, if they're able to come together. And just like Wike, now that the principal actor, Wike, has made a pronouncement, one hopes that the reconciliation, will be far-fetched, and it will help them to have to pick up the party again.
Yes, not to let the ship sink, the PDP ship sink. Like you said, light at the end of the tunnel. Mr. John used to say, one of our callers, he will say, if there is any tunnel at all. But well, we hope there is this tunnel, and when we see the light, far off, we know that something positive will come out of this so-called reconciliation within the PDP camps. Yes, this one, talking about the 2027 elections now, North Central zones rally behind Tinubu as APC holds congresses. Well, the All Progressives Congress's APC yesterday moved to consolidate its 2027 electoral push as key party organs across the 6 geopolitical zones held largely each 3 congresses, re-electing zonal leaders and closing ranks behind President Bola Tinubu. In a major political signal, the North Central Zone formally adopted President Tinubu as its sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election, while other zones echoed unity and readiness to deliver block votes. And yes, that is what the APC, that is what they've voted for, consensus candidacy. And that is what is happening in the APC now. We have not heard about any problems, political crisis in the APC. They have resorted to a consensus candidate, and this is what is happening now. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, led North Central stakeholders to endorse President Tinubu as the zonal congress in Lafia, Nasarawa State. The motion, seconded by Governor Abdullahi Sule, was unanimously adopted by governors, ministers, and party chieftains, and Akume described the zone as the glue of Nigeria and expressed confidence in its electoral strength. Nigeria is moving towards another election cycle with the caliber of politicians and grassroots leaders I have seen here. That is according to Akume. I have no doubt that when votes are counted in 2027, the North Central will deliver the highest number of votes, he said. Yes, that is his belief. And well, the consensus, I think it is not generating any controversy.
How come will you not generate a controversy? It's not everybody that will believe in consensus. Because
well, it is not, but
because some people will be edged out.
And they will be, but there will be some kind of compensation.
What do you mean by compensation?
Compensation.
When you're talking about compensation, how many people are going to be compensated?
Maybe that one, that person wants to, contest for governorship, or because it is a directive from the presidency, the incumbent. Now, for governorship or for House of Rep seat, or for Senate seat, and maybe they put somebody down.
We're talking about
okay. No, I'm just saying that they'll just try and compensate me with one, position, or agency chairman, or agency DG, or something like that.
We're talking about the directive that you spoke about. I mean, let's look at it this way. Is it even good to give a directive, a flat directive just like that, that these are the people? I mean, the president has his own people.
There was a meeting. They had a meeting. Yes, information had it that there was a meeting that they agreed, all of them agreed to consensus. The APC, All Progressives Congress. Yes.
Well, when you talk about democracy, we're talking about people voting. I mean, the large number of people. You see, all these political parties, they are trying to avoid the voting process, and they are putting their people there. It is not, it's a selective thing. They are only putting those people there can vouch on there, so that because sometimes even when they go through the voting stage, we will just find out that even the person that has the largest amount of money may at the end of the day emerge winner. So that's another thing. Well, it all has to do with Nigerian factor. I mean, either you go this way or that way, whether you vote, they will still, the money bags will still rig it. Whether you say no, I mean, you are choosing, it's only those people that the leaders love and want.
Yes,
that will be there. So either way.
But some will want to impose, some leaders of those parties, they want to impose people on, candidates on some people.
No, definitely. If they are not voting, they have to impose. They will say this is the person we love, and it may even be the person that have been, I mean, maybe parting with gifts, I mean, to leaders at all time. So the leader, this is the turn of the leader to return such a good gesture.
Well, I'm still talking about the some states, the elected APC congresses in some states, they did the direct congresses, and well, in the southwest, in Lagos State, Kekemeke pledges massive votes, and he was re-elected. Yes, that is Dr. Isaac Kekemeke as zonal chairman through consensus. Okay, I think it was consensus, like I said, at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena with 3,188 delegates in attendance. And in the southeast, they re-elected Arudi Ugbo Mba Hills Unity. And the south, they re-elected Giadom Target Top Vote Delivery, that is in Asaba, Delta State. South APC, the elected Chief Victor Giadom as National Vice Chairman alongside other zonal officers via consensus. I think the consensus aspect, I think I believe in it. If you agree, if you disagree to agree, Yes, I believe.
How do you know that they all agreed to it?
Well, it might be kind of because there are no squalors. There are no. They will know how to settle themselves.
Well, let's go to that of the ADC. You read that of the APC.
Yes. We read the PDP too.
Now, a meeting of the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has approved the timetable for its nationwide congresses and convention. The timetable is as follows: polling units and ward congresses, Tuesday, 7th April 2026, local government area congresses, Thursday, 9th April 2026, and state congresses, Saturday, 11th April 2026, national convention, Tuesday, 14th April 2026. You can see now that they too, maybe perhaps they too, they will go for, what do you call it?
Consensus.
Consensus. Let's wait and see what kind of modalities that they will follow for their own convention, their congresses.
Now, this one, talking about security now. Yes, security. The Middle East war.
No, let's go to, before it goes to the Middle East, let's take it from home. Talking about Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Nasir Idris, on Wednesday paid his respect to 11 soldiers and 1 policeman killed by Lakrawa bandits during an ambush in Guromasa Shanga local government area of the state by visiting the Federal Teaching Hospital, Birmingham, Kebbi, where their corpses were brought to the mortuary. The attack occurred on Tuesday night. The governor expressed sadness over the killing of security personnel who were protecting lives and property of the people. The governor said, "I sympathize with the families of the soldiers and policemen who were killed in the course of serving the nation." Kebbi governor mourns as Lakrawa terrorists killed 11 soldiers, 1 policeman in ambush. When it's not a state of war, just like that.
That is rather unfortunate.
11 soldiers.
Yes, 11, yes.
All at once.
It says here that not less than 9 soldiers, and I know not less than. That means it will have been a higher figure. Like you said, 11. And in the meantime, another development here: suspected bandits have demanded 1 billion naira ransom to set free 8 members of Ekwa Church, Omugo, in Ifelodu, local government area of Kwara State. That happened day before yesterday, and we mentioned it on this program yesterday morning. The gunmen had attacked the church on Sunday, shooting sporadically during service to scare the congregation, and abducted some members. And speaking in an interview with a private TV station on Tuesday, Toba Omole, the pastor in charge of the church, whose wife was among the victims, said 8 members of the church were still in captivity. And of course, Plateau youths protest rising insecurity, demand end of killings. That is another development too. Some youths in Plateau State yesterday stormed Government House in Jos to protest the persistent attacks in rural communities and other insecurity challenges bedeviling the state. It is becoming rampant. Becoming rampant, and well, you don't know what is happening.
Well, the situation is very unfortunate that we are having kidnappers, here and there. How much did you call the money?
1 billion naira.
How do they raise that one?
Well,
1 billion naira.
Because of course they know that government will deliver that money.
Well, government wouldn't tell you that they are doing that.
Yes, they will just say they rescued the victims, and when they rescue victims, will they just rescue them just like that? Won't there be casualties on the part of those kidnappers? There should be. Won't there be arrests? There will not be. Just hear that they rescued them. Rescued. Will the kidnappers just stay along? Will they run away and leave all those kidnapped inside the bush somewhere in one enclave? That's what we hear at the end of the day.
I think they should deploy more technology to, containing the activities of these terrorists. That's the only thing that they can do for now, because even the terrorists, the way they are operating right now,
coordinated attacks.
It's a coordinated attack. And look at what happened at Kebbi. It's very unfortunate because the government, they say the government believed to have been operating in the area for some time, were reportedly traced by the security personnel to a construction company's yard after a tip-off from residents, and the security personnel were dispatched to secure the site, but were ambushed along the way. 2 military trucks were reportedly set on fire during the attack. Can you imagine? They were ambushed.
That
So,
means
in other words, they lured them to that place.
to that place, yes. There must
And
be
they set up an ambush.
yes.
For them.
Somebody might have been compromised within themselves, within the soldiers themselves, or within the military setup. But I'm not saying that is
a
what.
sad story.
Yes. Because such had happened before when one in I think in Niger State, Sambisa Forest, when the commander who sent the soldiers to go into the Sambisa Forest to make some rescues, and he ordered them in the night, in the dead of night, said they should come back, and the commander of that troop said they should wait. They want to wait in one village, one remote village, small village, until the morning, early morning, before they will come back. He ordered that they should come back. Along the way, they were ambushed and killed. Some escaped, and that was what led to the shooting of their commander's convoy when it was coming out, when they were bringing the bodies inside. The other soldiers, the mates, were infuriated. And just like the kind of thing that is happening here, we'll have a short break. We'll be back.
Insurance is like carrying an umbrella just in case it rains. But what if it doesn't? With regular insurance, you get nothing if you make no claim. With no Takaful insurance, you might just get cash back for the next day.
There's no way to do ethical insurance. No Takaful insurance, where you win by claims which are paid promptly or win by profit sharing. Visit notakaful.ng or download the Raha app to get started. No Takaful, your win-win partner.
Bàbá, ẹ̀gbọ́n tó nílò ń wí ni.
Mo kúkú gbọ́, ó ná ọmọlúàbí pọ́nbélé.
Ọmọlúàbí pọ́nbélé. Bọ́làjú ti wá ń pọ̀ sí yìí. Ṣá wá lè sọ pé ọmọlúàbí pọ́nbélé kan bẹ níbì kan mọ́?
Ó sì wà, ọmọ àfiwàbí, inú ìran ti ràn wá. Ni wọ́n fi ń pè é ní ọmọnìwà òbí, ọmọlúàbí. Ọ̀làjú tó wá ń tọ́ka sí un, kò fi gba kankan pa ọmọlúàbí run. Ẹni mẹ́tọ́ tó sì ń ṣẹ̀tọ́ láwùjọ là ń pè ní ọmọlúàbí.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá. Okọ̀ rẹ yẹ kọ́tàn yẹrinyẹrin ju aṣọ ara rẹ lọ. Ìwọ ọmọlúàbí kò kútarí, kò sì lè kúta láéláé. Jẹ́ ọmọlúàbí. Àjọ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tí ń runi sókè tanijí kálẹ̀ gbárùkù ti dàgbàsókè amúlùdùn àtọrọ̀ ajé. Èyí ni Ọ̀yọ́ State Mobilization Agency for Socio-Economic Development, OMASED, ní Ṣùwàlétí.
Yes, charity. Gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣàríyá o, gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣàjọ̀dún. Àbẹ́ni fẹ́ ṣèpàdé o, gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣènáwó. BCOS event grand, òun ni ẹ máa bọ̀. BCOS event grand, òun ló kájú ẹ̀ fún gbogbo ayẹyẹ. Èyí tẹ́yin bá fẹ́ ṣe, BCOS event grand, òun ni ẹ máa bọ̀ o. Bóyá wá gbé mi débẹ̀ yóò. Ilé akéde. Bóyá wá gbé mi débẹ̀ yóò. BCOS event grand. BCOS event grand níbi tílẹ̀ ti tẹ́jú. Àyè ìgbọ́kọ̀sí ń bẹ, ìyẹn pọ̀ jaburata. BCOS event grand, ìyẹn nílé akéde. Oríta Báṣọ̀run nílùú Ìbàdàn. BCOS event grand, òun ni ẹ máa bọ̀ o. Ohun tá à ń sọ ni pé fónírúurú ayẹyẹ tẹ́yin bá fẹ́ ṣe, ó ti wù kó fẹjú tó. BCOS event grand, òun ló kájú ẹ̀, òun ló káàtó. Ṣókùn àgbà lẹ́yìn fẹ́ ṣe ni, tàbí ìgbéyàwó, tàbí birthday, tàbí open year crusade. Ó sì jẹ́ book launch ní tiyín ni. Ẹ máa bọ̀. Ẹ̀yin sá ti kàn sí wa ní yàrá kẹrin commercial department BCOS ilé akéde. Tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí BCOS customer care line tololong 0915-870-3300. BCOS event grand, ilé àríyá fáwọn tó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ.
The program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. Well, rather a sad situation in Kebbi State that I'm talking about the soldiers that were killed and a policeman. Well, now talking about the Middle East crisis here, I think something positive is about coming up. Yes, the United States President Donald Trump yesterday put forward a 15-point plan to see to the end of the war he started against Iran 3 weeks ago alongside Israel, and the plan includes the pledge that nuclear facilities at Natanz, Isfahan and Fordo must be destroyed. But Iran rejected the proposal, mocked Trump's purported ceasefire, and listed its own proposal. And however, Washington sent Tehran the plan to end the crisis in the Middle East, highlighting the White House's eagerness to find an off-ramp from the war as it wrestles with its economic fallout. Well,
let me lead in the meantime, a formal response from Tehran had not been made public as of Wednesday. The New York Times reported that uncertainty remained over how Iran will officially react to the proposal, particularly given the political and security implications of the conditions attached to the plan. The position of Israel, another key party to the conflict, also remained unclear. Israeli authorities have repeatedly taken a hardline stance against any arrangement they believe will leave Iran with the capacity to revive its nuclear program in the future.
I don't really know what is happening with the U.S. Anytime it is the turn of Republican presidents, they will turn to Iran and start accusing them of nuclear programs. And since Mr. Ahmadinejad, then Iranian president, then yes, he was accused by the U.S. under the Republican president, I think Ronald Reagan or maybe George Bush Jr., that they were building nuclear facilities, and he said it was not for war purposes. That was what he said. He said it was for energy production. But well, you can say that, but it might be for war purposes, but at least they are doing it, at least manufacturing it, maybe to protect their country in case of any event that happens. But why is the United States, just I think they are just trying to give Iran problems? Why is the United States trying to give Iran problems? Why doesn't Donald Trump, why doesn't he threaten North Korea that displays arsenals, his arsenal every month? Why? Donald Trump, during his first term in office, yes, he tried to test the Kim Il-jung, the 37 or 38-year-old president. Yes, but the guy, the president, he looked up to him, and later they tried to, be friends, but it did not work. It did not work. But they are just still looking. But every week or every month they display arsenals. Yes. Why doesn't Donald Trump face them? Why is it Iran? Why is it Iran?
Well, in international politics, there is no permanent friend. I mean, there is only permanent interest. And you should know that the United States of America, they have a lot of investment around the Middle East. Their own concern is how to protect their investment in the long run. That at the end of the day, what happens to their investment? And they see Iran as a big threat. More so, they have a friend. Talking about US, they have a friend in Israel. So, and then part of what they were doing is just to also protect Israel from future trouble. We are talking about nuclear power. I mean, it will pose a serious, they believe it will pose a very serious problem to Israel at the end of the day. And the country Israel is not a big country, it's just a small country, and the United States try as much as possible so that at the end of the day the Israeli government will not be destroyed completely. So it has to do with permanent interest. That's the interest of the United States for now. And that's why they are even, I mean, taking a pause concerning the war right now. Why? Because even the interest that they are protecting is being destroyed. They are being destroyed right now because most of the investment, I mean, US has incurred, I mean, a lot of losses concerning this war.
Yes,
and
there are some of their bases and some infrastructures in some other countries.
Perhaps they are regretting it right now. That why should one of the key people in the administration of the President Trump resigned.
Yes,
and he cited the reason that he resigned because that they have lost a lot of investment. The investment that they wanted to protect, at the end of the day, they have lost it because Iran knew how to play that politics instead of fighting. Instead of fighting US directly, it was fighting. So it was just distracting their attention by attacking the investment of US around the Middle East. So that was what really confused the whole situation. They never thought that Iran would do that. They thought Iran would fight. You know that in war, everybody, you have your own strategy. I mean, that's their own strategy. How do we go about this? That's their own strategy. And the strategy seems to be working.
Yes.
It seems to be working. The US has lost so much. And now even Iran, part of what they are thinking about is to demand reparation, demand compensation for what US has done for them. So that's just part of it.
But I just hope that the guy that resigned, yes, I hope he will stay alive and nothing will happen to him, because I'm sure he will have some information which the US would not want to let to be divulged to the public, because in that kind of situation, most of them are sometimes exterminated. You will not know, just secretly. Most times we see all these stories.
I think the guy only spoke the integrity of his heart, not that, and I don't think nobody will be after him. He spoke in the integrity of his heart that this war, I mean, it's just a kind of regret. Why should we go into this thing and allow people to suffer? That's what they intend to do is not the result that they are getting, and they are worsening the situation. That's just his concern.
Because
Trump, you know, in his usual manner, he has just all that the man said. He just said he was saying his own.
Yes, just wave it aside.
Exactly, just wave it aside.
I trust the US. Well, just let's leave it at that. Now, coming back home now, yes, talking about the federal government and workers, the federal government workers, the 70,000 naira minimum wage that was approved then, I think some parts were withheld, and the workers are, yes, attacking the federal government now. They are saying pay withheld 70,000 naira wage allowance. Yes, that is talking about the wage allowance then by March 31st, or that means or anything can happen. And they are demanding relief measures for informal sector workers. Well, tension is mounting across Nigeria's public service as civil servants under the umbrella of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council have issued a Tuesday, March 31st deadline to the federal government over the delayed payment of the 40% peculiar allowance tied to the 70,000 naira minimum wage. And the ultimatum came on a day workers in the informal sector also called on the federal government to provide social protection and other relief measures to improve their living conditions. And in a letter addressed to the Executive Chairman of Incomes and Wages Commission, National Chairman and National Secretary of JNPSNC Trade Union Side, Benjamin Uyantomini and Oluyole respectively, said the national leadership of the JNPSNC, that is the trade union side, is constrained to draw the attention of the management of the NSIWC to the undue delay in issuing the appropriate circular and salary templates required to facilitate the payment of 40% peculiar allowance to federal public servants. And this allowance is expected to reflect the approved 70,000 naira national minimum wage, which has been in effect since July 2024 following its enactment into law. Abi, that is another wala.
But why should the federal government make a promise that they cannot fulfill? I mean, you don't make promise you cannot fulfill. So they have the right to, protest, and the federal government too should not just wait until this protest starts. They should just resolve the issue. Maybe tell them when exactly they are going to pay this money.
Yes. Because I know of a federal civil servant who has been complaining that he had not received the wage award since he received it once. After that was since last year, early last year. He received it once. He has been complaining. He still told me about it yesterday. Well,
the federal government has not done very well. And to another story, NBA condemns Showore's over misuse of courtroom. The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has condemned the conduct of rights activist Oluyole Showore At the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday, in a statement issued by its president, Mazi Afam Ozigwe, SAN, on Wednesday, the NBA expressed concern over what it described as the misuse of the courtroom as a platform for media engagement and public commentary. NBA condemns Shore's over misuse of courtroom.
Yes, I think Shore, I think he's a media person.
But there is due process in the
that is it
in the courtroom. So
you are not supposed to conduct.
Whether you are a media person, whether you are a human rights activist.
What I'm trying to say is that he should know that he's not supposed to conduct even an interview inside the courtroom. It is outside, apart from now conducting a press engagement inside the courtroom. It is not. That is what everybody knows. That is what every pressman knows.
What about the journalists? So they too, they are aware of that.
But they should have corrected in that. Let us go outside. So yes. I think he's trying to just draw attention to himself. Yes.
They should have chided the journalists also.
Yes.
For allowing them to be used. I mean, they shouldn't have followed him into the courtroom to do what is illegal. What is illegal?
It is outside the court room.
Well, I think he too has his own. I don't know where he must have spoken and defended himself. That I didn't do that, but I think I read it somewhere. But his response is not taken in this newspaper. But I know that he too has his own response. You know, you cannot hear from one person and you don't hear from the other side.
Yes, but we all know that he was not supposed to grant any interview or grant any press audience inside the courtroom.
That's established, but nobody knows how it happened. That's another thing. You see, so that's another issue.
Yes, we go to the phone lines now. It is 720-080-5500-9850 or 070-5555-1985. The program is Conversation. Our first caller, hello, good morning. Good morning. Yes, I can be
God bless you, sir. I want to thank Mr. Abui for that precise analysis of American-Iran war. God bless you, sir. There is no permanent friends, but permanent interest. We must remember that in 1948, Israel was, when we are talking about United Nations, we are talking of America. Honestly, now, America will not want anything bad to happen to Israel, like you rightly said, Mr. Abioye, and I quite believe that. That's the problem. But many times, even personally, we underestimate some things, like America did now. They underestimated Iran, like you rightly said, that now in boomerang. Some countries, powerful countries, surreptitiously are supporting Iran. And Americans know this, and they are afraid. Let me tell you, I read papers every day, and I know that it is not possible for America to beg. You just want to force that peace talk on Iran, and Iran is not ready to enter into any peace talk with America now. Knowing fully well that it's having upper hand. Personally, I think. Then coming back to Nigeria, what do we have in our government? Promises. What do we have? We don't have any other thing than promises. They used to give electioneering promises. Used to do this. Security. This will not happen again. And they will go to their enclave until another disaster happens. Promises. That is what we have in our government. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Judy. I'm calling from Colombia. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Now, on Justice Ayo Salami, saying he shouldn't been allowed to contest the last election. I think Justice Ayo Salami is country like Nigeria that they can come out and talk. The allegation that led to universities that the court of appeal judge supposed to have shut him up forever was because in Nigeria, anything goes. He's kind of supposed not to be talking again because there are evidences to universities from the court of appeal. The video and audio conversation between him and clients who's supposed to be presiding over a case and is communicating with the part of the we saw all those things then. That was I think it was 2007 or something. So you shouldn't UPC people try to cover him up with their propaganda and their media and all that. And they are castigating those who he's supposed not to be talking again. So even if he's right on Peter Obi, he's supposed to now he has kept quiet and we appreciate it, but him now coming up again is other body of lecturers who have been retired cautioning that then on the issue of US, Iran and Israel, the war is not even between US and Iran and Israel, it's between Israel and Iran. They are the one attacking themselves. US just came to punish what he has perceived as Iran has perceived enemy before. US, what people misunderstand is that they thought Iran has that strength to withstand US and they said, no, Iran is just doing propaganda. If you understand the word very well, they are just doing propaganda to, yes, they can match Israel. Yeah, they and Israel are brother, they can match themselves, they have the same spirit. But what they are doing is, and US cannot pop a civilian population. What US has been doing as a military instrument and their government officials and all that, and they are decimated majority of them. So what Iran is doing is, Iran has no, for now they have no leader, but people don't know. The leader they claim to have is just speaking from background, it's not talking. Most of their military officers are gone, most of their missiles are gone, most of their submarines are gone. But they are just they are attacking their side, they don't back down. That's like Israel, like Iran. They don't back down from the place until they finish them. And if US cannot continue to be bombing them because US knows the implication of obliterating the whole nation. Not that they are in full war. So that's what is happening between them. What the government should not, the United Nations should do now to call Israel and Iran together and talk to them. But they have this evil spirit in them, Israel and Iran. They have this thing of not, they love violence, both of them. So that is just what is happening between them. So you might get, I think Governor Imakinde is getting it all wrong. He has finished his term, but he's preventing those who are in PDP from contesting. Yeah, his voice. Anyway, if they like, they go. If they like, they stay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your opinion on those the stories that you reeled out. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Lichanero, Bumosho.
Yes, you are welcome.
The glory and peace of God and blessing of God will be with all of us in Nigeria.
Amen.
What I want to tell to our government in Nigeria is that the promise that they cannot fulfill, they should not promise us. The reason I say that about the 70,000 naira, they promise federal government workers, they want to pay for them. They're supposed to pay for them. Because now in Nigeria today, 70,000 naira is not a small for the salary earner. They have family to finance. They should pay house rent, school fees, especially the transport money that we use in Nigeria today. God says, promise is a debt. The person that cannot fulfill, if it will not fulfill in this earth, it will fulfill in heaven. So that they should fulfill their promise before they go to the heaven, where they be with us.
Thank you very much, Yamasura from Naira Bumasho. Yes, conversation is still the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello, once again, sir. I can be advised from you. I just want to have a friend. It's that joke from Iran and Babadi Dayo from Okewo.
Yes.
We have not heard of them of recent.
I think they might have been engaged one way or the other. Yes.
Okay, God will do it well.
I know they are well. they are well. Yes, thank you very much. 0055009850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm
Yeah, Mr. Welcome. You're welcome.
About promise of the government. I think they said they're paying money. Why they don't let the talk again? When they get to pay money, you come increase. That's the question. Back to American 11 to a kill. You can see in Amon Carlo, they give me a bad name. John was telling them. Copy with shouting to police. They said the same trouble. But at the end of the day, if how what I say is not truth. If they control all the man, they will not have peace. Most of them who comply with the good employee, again Namokano, most of them in grave for because I don't tell the truth. I would like to recommend let him go. Failing to do so, they will not have peace. Not a week and go. We can is a PDP. Market this is low that. Thank you much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nwere.
Well, before we go, we take this one. Worsening financial conditions accelerate memory loss in older adults. Study finds. Bimbo, do you believe that?
Well, it might be possible. That is according to a research by a group of eminent researchers.
You know, the other time when we raised the issue of alcohol, you said the researchers should go back and research very well. But this time around, it seems that you are agreeing with the eminent. You now call them eminent. But the other ones were not eminent.
They were
eminent. When it comes to the issue of alcohol.
Yes, it's been an interesting time on conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. We'll come your way again with another edition of Conversation. My name is Bimbo Akombi.
And I'm Abiy Ayonide. Good morning.
And well, Sports Tidbits is next. Toby is here. Well, will give us some updates talking about today's matches, World Cup qualification, and the AFCON qualification too, and the international friendlies, Super Eagles in camp, the names, and Osimhen's temperament scares Barcelona. Yes, another topic here, and I know.
98.5. For a clean environment and good health, stop throwing refuse into streams. Get a drum or dustbin. Throw all your refuse into it.
We hear of traffic holdups. We see them every day.
Don't double park.
Don't triple park.
You'll just be in the way.
Obey the traffic regulations. Don't make mistaken calculations.